New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a legend in the studio. He goes by the name of Ice-T. Give it up to Ebro in the morning.
Ice-T.
Laura Styles, Rosenberg.
Thanks, everybody.
Sir, I don't know if people, I mean, look, obviously they know you from your acting endeavors. I know the Power album cover has become, I see pop up on social media every now and then, so they know about your rap endeavors early.
Yeah.
But I don't really know if everybody understands the Ice-T relationship to New York City and when you first brought LA gangster rap to New York City.
Well, you know, I had a wake up moment just coming here when I got to the front desk. I walked up and I said, "Hey, hi," and the girl says, "What's your name?" I was like, "Oh wow, it's a big thing. Like times have changed." You know what I'm saying? But my connection to New York City comes from how I got put on. You know, I was a West Coast rapper, but I had become friends with Africa Islam. You know, Son Bambaataa. And he had came to L.A. to do shows at a club called The Radio, which was the first hip-hop club in L.A. where we would perform. And he befriended me. The New York rappers were fascinated with me because I already had things. I had a Porsche. I had all the jewelry and stuff because I was in the street. So they were asking me, why do you want to rap? Because no one had ever bought a car rapping at that point. You know what I'm saying? There was no money in it. So they were like, you look like you got it made. But I already knew my days was numbered in low digits, and I wanted to do something else. So I made friends with Africa Islam, and I had my first real record was called, the first one was called Dog in the Wax. Well, and You Don't Quit, and then Dog in the Wax was 6 in the morning.
And what year was this?
Don't ask me years.
6 in the morning. What is that?
That's 85?
something like that.
6 in the morning was 85.
Early 80s.
6 in the morning, police at my door, fresh Adidas.
Right. And I told I said, man, I would love to get it played in New York because when you're from L.A., regardless, you know New York is the Mecca. And if you want to be a rapper, you have to break New York. That's how I felt. I can't be accepted. I don't want to be a West Coast rapper. I want to be respected in New York. So Iz told me, if you wanted to break, you got to come here. So back then, they had a airline called People Express. You know, it cost $99. You could get a cheap ticket out here. So I flew out here. I stayed at 156 in Tenton in the South Bronx on Islam's floor. And him being a big DJ, I met New York from the top down. It wasn't like I came and met somebody from Brooklyn who said they knew hip hop. I met Red Alert. I met Scott LaRock. I met Chuck Chillout. I met all the top DJs at the time, Grandmaster Flash, because Islam was a very important DJ. Like what is KRS-One says, when Africa Islam was rocking the jams on the other side of town was a kid named Flash. I mean, he's a G. Mm-hmm. So I met him, and through channels, I got my record deal out of New York. My first record I got signed to Sire because I was brought to Warner Brothers as a compilation. A guy named Ralph Cooper Jr., whose father was connected to the Apollo, brought me, myself, Melly Mel, Grandmaster Caz, Donald D. Of the B-Boys, a guy named Bronx Style Bob, and Ice-T. Brought him and said, hey, here's a compilation. Mel was still signed to Sugar Hill. Caz was still dealing with Tough City. Donald was connected to Vintertainment. Bob had never put a record out, so Seymour Stein said, I'll just take Ice-T. That's where I got put on. The second thing that made New York my home was New Jack City. Right. When New Jack City came out, by being such a big movie about New York just kind of threw me the keys to the town. Right. And it's like, okay, you from West Coast, but we got love for you here because we saw you at Union Square. We saw you at Latin Quarter. We saw you all over the place. But the Zulus had my back. Right. So when I would come through New York, I could run around New York like I owned the town because the Zulu Nation had my back. And, I was official.
So it's 85, 86. You run around New York. You got your record out. When you made 6 in the morning, right, telling that story, what influenced you to make that record?
PSK. PSK by Schoolie D. Now, here I am in New York, in L.A., trying to rap like New York. So my first early records were kind of like battle rhymes, like LL Cool J style
Right.
stuff. I'm the best, I'm this, that, and the third. My boy Randy Mack out of L.A. was like, yo, why don't you tell them rhymes you be saying? Because I would make gang rhymes back in the day, like rolling through the city in the middle of the night, on my left and on my right, yelling, rip to every fool I see. If you bad enough, come get with me. You know, I seen another brother, I said crip again. He said, F a crip, fool, this is Brim. So we pulled out the Roscoe. Roscoe said crack. I look again, homie was shooting back. So we fell to the ground, aimed for his head, one more shot. Sucker was dead. Walked over to him, took his gun, spit in his face, and began to run. So if you see another sucker laying dead in the street and a puddle of blood from his head to his feet, hope it's time all you busters get hip. That's F a Brim, fool. This is West Side Crib. Now, that's a gang rhyme. This is pre-rap. So I would say that to entertain the gangsters.
Right.
So my boys is like, say that. I'm like, nobody wants to hear that. That ain't hip-hop. And he's like, I don't matter. That's you.
Right.
So we had an 808. We turned the 808 on. We kind of was trying to get that Beastie Boy style, that kind of hold it now, hit it, boom, to that kind of beat going like that. Right. And then I had been in a club and I heard Schoolie D. And if you've never heard PSK in a club, that record doesn't sound like any other rap record. It sounds like Angel Dust. It comes on.
Right.
Yeah,
PSK, you know, and I'm like, yo, this dude is so dope. Now at the time, everyone was yelling on records. And I said, but this dude sounds like the one that'll shoot you, right? He's just so laid back. You know, he said, put my pistol up against his head and said, suck ass, I should shoot you dead. I was like, that's the business. So I took the flow of PSK and when 6 a.m, police at my door, fresh Adidas squeak across the bathroom floor. So I think all rappers are inspired by other things. To me, you know, people, well, did you call it a bite? I'm like, no, because you wouldn't have known it if I hadn't said it. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was more like inspiration. Then right after that, Q wrote, Boys in the Hood are always hard.
So everything was coming from that same
Came from Schoolie.
Right.
So Schoolie is the godfather of
gangster rap.
What we know as gangster rap.
Because I didn't know, see, once I heard the record, what made me know it was official was because they said, I said, what's PSK? They said, PSK. They said, that's Parkside Killers. I said, oh, he repping a set. Oh, okay. This is official. You dig what I'm saying? So when I went in, I did 6 a.m, I amped it up because he never really talked about guns. My song, we had hand grenades in the county, and I took you all the way through the gangster's life. Shot a little dice till my knees got sore, you know, the whole life. And so a lot of people like say, well, Ice-T, you the first. I'm the first in the West, but hat's got to go off to Schoolie D. That's the OG who really set it in that direction. Now it's funny, though, because I listen to people, they go, well, Pac wasn't a gangster rapper. I'm like, look, Biggie, Pac, you know, Jay-Z, anybody who says they solve their problems with a weapon is gangster rapping. You dig? Whether it's Foxy Brown or it's Lil' Kim or it's Wu-Tang Clan, as soon as that's how you resolve your issues, that's gangster.
You consider that to be some version of gangster rap?
It's all gangster rap. If you say, yo, I don't take no shorts, see, the people say, well, what's the definition of a gangster? I say, look, I just don't back up well. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not out to hurt you, but I just don't, when you tell me or else, you ran into an issue because I don't back up. If I start backing up, I might as well let you move in my house and have everything. I don't back up. I don't deal with them things well. But that's what gangster rap to me is. It's that element of it. Now, are you going to have the A and the B side of the gangster rap? Or are you just going to talk about all the positivities of it? I always try to show you the B side of it. Like, yeah, that might seem attractive, but the death in the penitentiary does come with it. That's to be honest.
Well, even the record New Jack Hustler is all sort of a cautionary tale about what trying to be a gangster is, isn't it?
Well, anybody who's ever been involved in it has to speak on it in a cautionary way. To just talk about it like, you know, that, like I say in OG, that invincible stuff don't work. I throw you in the joint, you'll be coming out feet first, meaning on a gurney, you know? So to just talk, if you talk about it like you're never gonna get hurt, you're lying or you never done it. And I've always had people in the penitentiary, my team, who made me stay true to it. They was like, Ice, man, you lived a wild life, man. You ain't got to lie, and you ain't got to put nothing on it. Just tell them what it is, dog, you know? So I never been able to just ramble off any outrageous stuff. You know, my music is what you just saw, what you just listened to, I call it faction. It's factual things put into a fictional story. It's not word for word, but it's real enough that a real cat is gonna go, yeah, I feel that.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
The feds in the rear view, if you're looking for some new Ice-T material, some real gangster rap, some OG shit.
And by the way, it might surprise you. You hear Ice-T dropping music. He's an actor now, been an actor. He's a dad. All these. That record's super hard.
Well, and that's why I wanted to give people context too, right? Because you have Melly Mel with the message, which
Yes,
was
sir.
reality rap.
Right.
And somewhere from reality rap to PSK, shit went from I'm just telling you what's happening out here to I'm telling firsthand accounts, or I'm from a set even.
Well, Melly Mel was one of my major inspirations because when I heard Beat Street Breakdown, even before the message, that's what said you can put content into music. I was listening to rap and it was all about parties. And when I heard him say that, I'm like, there's more you can do with it. You see what I'm saying? So when I first heard rap, to me, I thought it was silly because I was out there hustling. So I'm like, I don't dance. We don't come to the parties. We come to the parties to check. You know, we in the parking lot. You know, we the wolves. You dig? So I'm like goofy ass, rapping ass. You know, I ain't got no time to rap. But then when I started seeing the content in it, when he blew my mind, I'm like, when he said Mussolini, and now you can't even look at me. I'm like, oh, this is deep. I didn't. Until someone takes it somewhere, you don't know it can go there. You don't know it's okay.
Now, how much, and I've known you for decades now, how much of your transition from hustling in street life to making music was you, as you pointed out early, a necessary transition for you to get to this point in your life?
I had to, man, because when you out there, you're street poisoned and you don't have any understanding of reality. You know, you think, hey, if I get this much money, I'm gonna be able to live legit and have this, and you're just kind of messed up. I didn't realize even no matter how much money you had, you can't move into a nice neighborhood because everybody in that nice neighborhood want to know who the hell you are. You know, now you can't, it doesn't translate like that. That criminal, if you want to be a criminal, you're going to always live in a criminal world. You'll never be able to have a normal life. I didn't know that because I was young. So I'm just like, yo, I just got to get this money. And you're so brain messed up. You're just like, if everything is a sucker to you, if they not gangster, everybody, you know, you walk in the club, you like, all these niggas is bitches, man. Like, you know, because you got a gun. So your brain is all messed up. But when my friends started to go to jail, they were like, Ice, man, white people like you, man. Like, you don't have to come here. Don't come here, player. Ain't nobody in here eating filet mignon, drinking Dom Perignon. They don't know. They tying 3 and 4 blue rags around their head, waking up every morning with swords, you know? So I'm like, my guys said, man, rap, nigga. Rap. You got a chance. It's a window. Get in. And I reluctantly did it, you know, but I went broke. I went broke because I'm not making no money. I'm not doing no licks no more. So it was a difficult period of transition. And I'm still in transition. Everybody tells me, they say, what's your biggest accomplishment? I'm like, that transition. Coming from the point where you on the internet now, where people talk crazy and you don't pop up on them, that's a transition. Or keeping your friends from popping up. That's a transition to be like, man, let that pass. They all suckers. Let's just get this paper. Let's get this money. Let this paper. In the streets, not one bit of disrespect goes. There's a reaction for everything. And turning yourself into a normal human being that doesn't react like that takes a lot.
Doesn't that come from a situation, though, from not having versus having? So if you don't have anything and then someone shows you no respect.
Absolutely.
As opposed to, like, you have so much now, the idea of a little bit of perceived disrespect, you throwing anything away, it's impossible.
Absolutely. See, Rosenberg, you just intellectualized the conversation. Yes, when you don't have anything, all you have is your respect. That's all you have. When you're in jail, there's no one has anything, so Now respect is at a premium. When you have nothing, someone steps on your sneakers, they just stepped on your house.
Right.
That's all you got. So you ain't and when you grow up in that environment and the code is so powerful, the code is why everybody's in prison. You know? And I'm not no rat and I'm not no snitch. That part of the code I totally rock with. But the part of the code that said if somebody disrespects you, you should kill them. That's not how it goes. It's disrespect. If someone's trying to kill you, yeah, you should defend yourself. But just disrespect requires murder? Nah. Now I speak at Sing Sing. I speak at all the different prisons. And most of them cats went in jail when they're 17, 16, before 20. And they're in there based around the code of, yo, my man did this or he did that, and I murked him. And now I'm doing life. I didn't even have ability to make the right decisions yet. So, I tell people now at this age where we are, old man Ebro, Rosenberg, we won't go to jail. We won't get shot. We'll only go to jail. We'll only get hurt if we allow it to happen to ourselves. Now it's on us.
Yeah.
Our health. And our behavior. You're not forced to be in the streets with people every day. When you're young, you can't say, man, I just want to go chill. Where you going to chill? You in the projects. You got to chill right next to the savage cat that just threatened your life. And now you got to come out the house the next day. What you going to do? Are you going to be strapped? What's happening? He said he going to kill you next time he see you. What you going to do? So those situations don't apply when you become an adult. You don't live in that world anymore. So...
Now, going back, right, when you were affiliated, right?
Yeah.
And you did time. If I recall, you were in the military for a quick stint, right?
Yeah, I'm a Ranger.
So you come home, and it's Veterans Day, and the reason there was a time, my father went through this too. Black men come home from, serving time to nothing. They come to neighborhoods where there's joblessness. Their neighborhoods are under attack, police brutality, all of these things are taking place. And that is why you had the Brims and the Crips and these things of black men trying to get their neighborhoods organized that spiraled into these other things that became what we know today to be gangs.
Yes.
Was that how it happened for you? You came home to...
Nah, Ebro. I went to Crenshaw High School. That's the 60s. So I'm affiliated with Rolling 60s. I never jumped into a gang. I never claimed a gang because when I came out, claiming a gang you'd have been dead. You couldn't come out claiming Cripple Blood because they was on site. They were killing people. So what I did, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to represent the West Coast. And I kind of had diplomatic immunity because kind of like I knew a lot of Bloods. I knew a lot of Crips. And I was a player. I was wearing the feeler with the perm. We were running around the streets, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, okay, them cats got money. But, we said we turned this P into a G. We players, but we turned this P into a G real quick. I got on the feeler suit, but I got a pistol. So don't play me, right? So I knew all the gang leaders in the different sets because we was able to get them things. They wanted clothes. So that, players operate in that
middle space.
In that middle space, okay. But I understand the gangs thing real tough. So when I came back from the Army, my guys that were small-time criminals had now elevated over those 4 years. They went from stealing car stereos to robbing jewelry stores, banks, and credit unions. So I just fell right in with them. I was like, they were saying, this is how this goes down. I'm like, nah. You got to set this up, and this is a grid, and this is how you cut the pie, and this is this. They like... oh, you in charge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we started taking down scores. I never got caught, So we were always able to get the money. And that's what I got involved with.
Got it.
Not gang banging, you know what I'm saying? But I'm so entrenched in the West Coast. I know the gang culture like nobody else.
So at what point did you start, what year did you start spending a lot of your time in New York? Like how long have you been spending at least half your time here?
Since 6 a.m. Since whatever year that was, since I made
86 it said.
Yeah, since I made that. Oh, no, all my time in New York?
Like at least half your time.
Oh, no,
significant amount of time.
I didn't start spending it until I started doing New York Undercover, Law and Order.
Okay.
Law and Order, when I came to do Law and Order, I came out here to do 4 episodes, and I've been here now 20 years, going on 21 seasons. But, we say real players, man, we play the whole bubble, man, from the pineapple to the big apple, man, from the snowflakes to the earthquakes, you dig? Anywhere we touch down, that's our town, you dig? So New York, wherever you go, you're going to run into real cats. If I moved to Atlanta, I would meet real cats, if you real. And, being real is just being honest. Just be honest. And I love New York. I have a good time. I just hate the winter. I mean, I'm a player, man. I'm supposed to be in conditioned air at all times. You understand? So I don't like the winter, but I love New York City.
When you first auditioned for Law and Order SVU, right?
Yeah.
You knew exactly the role you wanted to play. You knew that it was going to be a detective.
That ain't how you get to act. You don't get to know what you want to play. You play what they want you to play.
Okay.
No, I got New York. I got Law and Order from doing New York Undercover.
Gotcha.
See, I was in my house with Fab Five Freddy in L.A., and he was talking some Mac stuff. He's talking about planetariums and hoes and things of that nature. He's like, yeah, this roof should be a planetarium. You know how Freddie gets, right? So Andre Harrell calls Freddie. Andre was an early producer on New York Undercover. So he calls, where you at? I'm at Ice's house. I knew Andre from when he was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Dig? So, see, that's
Before
why
Uptown Records.
That's why you ain't gonna hear many people talk on me, because I know everybody from peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You understand? I don't care how many billions of money we are. Leor used to sit on my floor of my house and tell me he was gonna produce. I'm a managed Run DMC. I was like, get the hell out of here, because Leor had a club called the Mix Club in L.A. Run and them came and performed, and he hooked up with Russell, and that's a whole nother story. But I know these cats. You dig? So, Andre's on the phone. He goes, tell Ice to be on New York Undercover. I'm like, man, fuck New York Undercover. That's a ripoff of New Jack City, man. I'm doing movies. I was on my bullshit, right? I'm doing movies, man. I'm in Hollywood Hills.
I'm working on Trespass right now.
You're talking to me, man. Well, Keanu's on the line. Hold on, man. Hold on, wait. What, Andre, who? Andre? So then he's like, black people will pull this on you. Oh, you too big now, huh?
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, okay, give me a bad guy role, because I had done New Jack City and I played a cop. So I'm like, okay, I want to play a bad guy role. Actors like to do that. They like, I'll play, but let me play something different.
Right.
So you an actor now.
I'm trying. I mean, I'm trying to do what I could do while I'm here on Earth. You dig what I'm saying? And I would love to race Formula One cars, Ebro. There's a lot of things I would love to do. If that opportunity arises, I'm behind the wheel. You feel me? So I watched movies my whole life. They like, you could get on the other side. Come on, man, I'm cut for, players cut for everything.
Right.
You understand? I'm cut for everything. I might be able to do this, man. Let me get a shot at it.
Hey, so, whatever you want, man. Just pull across the bridge,
see what I'm saying? So anyway, he says that. I said, nah, man, give me a bad guy role. So they get this role called Danny Up, who was a crazy psychopath who was selling methacatharin, which is crystal meth. This is way back. I did the first episode. The last day of the scene, I get a call, and Dick Wolf says, they don't want to kill you. I'm like, so what does that mean? They want you to do more. I'm like, well, y'all ain't paying me enough. Like, I'm in New York. I'm spending every dollar I'm making on hotels, and I can't afford to stay here. You dig? And then they kind of perked me. They moved me over to the Four Seasons. They got me a 24-hour car because the cars was killing me. My man, who I was paying for, they put him in a place. And it wasn't that. When I say I couldn't afford to, what I mean is saying every dollar you're paying me, I'm spending. I'm making nothing.
Right.
I'm making nothing. So they figured that out. So I end up killing Malik's girl. I don't know if you remember New Jack City. I shot the pregnant woman. I was cutting fingers off. They let me go buck wild. So that was over.
In New York, the New York Undercover joint.
New York Undercover. Then I got a call to play Swift Justice, another Dick Wolf show. I played a gangster. I popped out of a trunk with a shotgun. Then I played in Exiled, a Law and Order movie. I was a pimp. They killed me with a bowling pin. So then I pitched a show called Players. It was on for a year with Costas Mandelaar and Frank Hughes, where we were fed a con artist that got out the feds to bust criminals, whatever. So when that was over, Dick Wolf said to me, he said, I wish I had a stronger vehicle for you. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, whatever. You know, I have no job. So then I got a call, and they said, hey, would you like to be in New York, in SVU? I said no, because I was in L.A. I had a label called Coroner Records, and I was on the beginning of MP3s. I knew about MP3s. I was trying to invent iTunes. And if you think I'm lying, Google Ice-T invents iTunes. Anybody listening, Google Ice-T invents iTunes. It's on, and it's a whole thing of me talking it was an Apple interview, and I broke down what was about to happen in the future, and it happened, and I ain't never get a check. But anyway, that I came out here. I wasn't gonna do it. My boy, one of my homies, Jonell from 60s, he was like, cuz go on out there, man. You love New York, man. It's a vacation, man. Go on out there and handle that business. It was 4 episodes. I've been here 21 years.
Wow. Now, does the cop killer shit ever rear its head when people are talking to you about gigs? Did that ever pop up?
You're talking about Body Count, the song.
Body Count,
Back in the day.
And because you were the first artist, I believe, to get their music yanked from shelves in hip hop.
Banned.
Banned.
They pulled the record. I mean, you know, I did Cop Killer. NWA did Fuck the Police. You know, it was hot. But we was on their bumper. We was letting them know. I mean, back then they used to picket the shows. We couldn't get insurance. You know, that's how they hit you. They won't insure the show. The cops won't protect you. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. Since then, I've been vindicated.
Right.
Here we are 20 years later. Now they got phones and everyone can see what I was talking about. So 20 years ago, I was just some crazy kid doing it for the hype about what the cops are doing to people in the street. Now, oh, that's what Ice-T was singing about. Yeah, because I was on the front lines. I was getting my head busted. That's what the LAPD was, a straight, you know, militia. Right. You know, they called us the gorillas in the mist. They would come out, you know, Daryl Gates was on that bullshit. He was like out to kill cats. And, you know, I was there during the gang sweep back in the day when they took everybody to the Coliseum. If it was 4 people, they could pick you up. And they took you to the Coliseum and they did the mass fingerprinting and mug shots. You had to see this.
I forgot all about that.
You remember that?
I forgot. Yo, look,
the whole city.
Yo, look, the whole city, LA, was scooping up black dudes and taking them over to the college. I forgot that shit happened.
So it's like pre-stop and frisk, just go grab
No,
everyone?
everybody.
Everybody, bro.
If 4 people is on the corner, it's a gang.
Boom, gone.
That's all I'm saying.
You couldn't, in my neighborhood, you couldn't walk to the mall. If you went to the mall with your friends, you couldn't walk in groups.
Were you out there
larger
during that time?
I was in the Bay.
Okay.
I was in Northern California.
Yeah, but you knew about
Could you
it.
walk
Yeah.
with 2 people?
Yeah, 2 people, you was good. 4, you was a gang.
Rap.
What
Wow.
year was this?
This had to be 88, 89, 90.
It was right before the Olympics.
Right.
Well, the 84 Olympics were in L.A.
So it was right before the Olympics. So they wanted to have everybody on the books. But it was like, you know, when the cops would come, everybody was running. You know, it was like, that's what really started everybody boning out. Like the word was, if that cop turned the corner, run. Because they was just gathering us, you know? And I ducked that. I never got taken down there, but it was bananas. It was bananas. So anyway, you know, it hasn't ever affected me since then. I'm sure behind closed doors, there's people that still won't mess with me.
I was going to say, there have to be some cops who will never forgive you because
Well,
you
no,
said that.
cops, Rosenberg, fuck the cops. You know what I'm saying? It's like the ones that know what I was talking about, they're 100% with it. The other cats, they never liked me. They would have never liked me if I never made that record.
Right.
They just don't like the fact I just whipped past them in something foreign with my sexy wife. They hate that. So we don't care about them. It was a protest record. It was a record saying, what if somebody were to snap and go after y'all? What would that be? It wasn't go cop killing. I think you should go cop killing. It was about a person who snapped and went after. What scared America was white kids like that record. See, when you transfer...
But it was also rock, too.
Yeah, you didn't make it a rap record. That was what's interesting
But
about
they
it.
called it a rap record.
Yeah, I always thought that was so weird.
Because that's a way to say it's niggas.
Yes.
That's a way, as soon as you say rap, then everybody says, oh, it's that that nigga music. You understand?
Because in hip hop, we were all like, "Oh no, that's Ice-T and his rock group."
But that's not who they were talking
Right.
to.
They didn't care about that.
Because if you talk to white people and you say rap, rock, they go, well, I like Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
Maybe I might be.
And by the way, this still applies today. Yo, what's my man? Antonio Delgado was running for the 19th district, upstate New York. He won, but to slander him, this is what?
It's true.
12 months ago?
Yeah, they said
they
he
were
was a
like,
rapper.
in college, he put out a hip hop album. He's a rapper. It still
Rapper
happening.
means nigga.
It was
in
rapper
the most
running for
negative
office.
way. You see what I'm saying? So when they go and they throw that out there, you know what the media does? It's a spin. So they spin it and they say they. But what scared them was, see, when you transfer black rage to white kids, that's the enemy. When Malcolm came back and said, well, you know, all Muslims ain't black. That's the problem. When you start to join people together with one common enemy, that's the fear. And I've always been about that. You know, I judge a devil by his deeds. I'm looking at everybody, you know, just because you the same color as me, you ain't my brother. You got to show me you my brother. You know, I got a rhyme where I say I don't hate white people. That's a well-known fact. All my homies got killed by blacks. You dig? So I got my eye on everybody. I'm racist. I don't trust the human race. You dig? That's my race. I don't trust nobody till they show me I should trust them. And you know, so anyway, you know, I don't have that problem now, Ebro, but I'm sure there's still some people that are so. And you know, now playing the police on TV for all these years, that's an act. I'm acting that. But I'm still on here saying, fuck the racist cops. You know, it would be different. People are like, why you sold out? It would be different if now I won't talk about it. You see, I'm worried about my show. But that's acting. I can play a slave owner. You dig what I'm saying? That's acting. But in real life, y'all know where I'm still the same cat. I'm still about it. And kind of like playing on Law and Order SVU, I'm chasing rapists and pedophiles. They don't even like them in prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that particular cop that guy Odafin Tutuola is, he's still not a dirty scumbag. You know, he's somebody that, you know. It's funny, though. Dick Wolf asked me when I got the job, back to your thing, he goes, okay, Ice, you don't like the cops, do you? I said, cops are people. I don't like, you know, a racist. I don't like bullies. But I was a criminal. So a criminal, a real live criminal, you don't hate the cops. The cops aren't the enemy. The cops are the opponent. You dig? If us three know we gonna rob a bank, we know it's against the law. But they gotta catch us. So they're not the enemy, they're just the opponent. We're gonna beat them. And if they catch us, then we gonna cuff up and we gonna play Law and Order. But it's a punk that gets on the corner and smoking some weed and the cops are, oh yeah, if weed was legal, he ain't gonna bust you. He's just doing his job. You stupid enough to get caught. Criminals shouldn't be getting caught. That's the problem. Don't get mad because you got busted. If you cheating on your girl, don't get mad because you got busted. You dumb fuck, you did it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any problem with cops. I have problems with racists. I have problems with bullies. I have problems with people that bring their personal issues to the job and inflict it on other people with the badge in their hand. That's my problem. So, you know what I'm saying? Every now and then, I got somebody, oh, Ice-T, you the police. I'm like, well, you a dumb fuck, too. I'm about
if you don't follow Ice-T on Twitter especially, you missing out, bro.
But wait, okay, so what did Dick Wolf say to you? He said, you don't like cops.
Oh, yeah, let's get back to that. Yeah, and on Twitter right now, get at me. I'm at final level. Final level. The final level is actually inner peace. But dig this. Dick Wolf said, you don't like cops. I said, no, I don't have any yet. He said, well, you agree we need them. I'm like, absolutely. You definitely need police out here. And he goes, well, I want you to play the cop we need. How about that for a direction? So it's kind of like, you know, if I told Ebro, all right, you got all these problems, but I want you to be the one we need. Mm-hmm. So Finn is trying to do the right thing. You know, and if Ice-T magically became a cop and I was on SVU, they kind of like got me handling things the way I would if I was the police. So that's how it works. But, you know, I'm about as far as you can get from the police, to be totally honest. And I never broke the law for the sake of breaking the law. It was always for capital gain.
Right, there was a
That
purpose.
money. Do you feel like New Jack City should be rebooted? Come back.
I don't think, well, you know what? I'm not a hater, but I don't think it'll be easy to do. Because to New Jack City was a period piece. And I don't know, I mean, what are you going to embed it in the opioid crisis? It'll be difficult. Another reason is Wesley Snipes' performance. I don't think you can touch Wesley's. Sometimes people do like a masterpiece. And when you do a Scarface, and Al Pacino is now looked at as Scarface, Wesley is always going to be Nino Brown. I mean, I was in the movie. Nino Brown was the movie. And I don't know who they got that can pull that one off, because you need that arch criminal, that super arch criminal. When I got the job in New Jack City, they weren't concerned with me playing the cop. They wanted someone that was live, that when I went undercover, Wesley could believe. So it's see, a street cat can play a square can't play a street cat. They don't have the flavor. Their cadence of their conversation ain't even in the same caliber. They talk different. So they were like, well, when you go undercover, we got to believe that Wesley would believe that you're not the police. That's why I got the role.
Now, I guess the next question I want to ask you. Really,
I love your questions, Ebro. Am I talking too much?
No,
That's the point.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Why are you picking on Soulja Boy?
You still going after Soulja Boy?
Never.
I remember that from years
was,
ago.
You talking about ancient history.
That was like 10
Yeah,
years
it's
ago.
right here. It's the last bullet point.
What'd I say?
What?
It says here that you credited Soulja Boy with killing hip hop.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Like 10, 20
I
years
missed
ago.
that.
You
I
don't
never
remember
even-
that?
I don't remember this.
Ice-T and Soulja Boy had a full-blown
No, we
Twitter
didn't.
fight.
No,
That
we
was a
did-
Twitter fight.
We didn't have a Twitter fight. I never tweeted him, ever.
What you said it on a? What did you do?
I said it on a YouTube.
on a video.
I don't remember.
All right, let's go back, since we on Ebro's show and we wanted, everybody likes the business. This is what happened, Ebro. Back in the day, I was doing a mixtape for some of my friends that are no longer my friends. Get this out there. These cats went behind my back. And right before I went into the booth, they started throwing stones in the booth. Niggas don't want to hear you, man. They want to hear Soulja Boy. They want to hear Hurricane Chris. Now, rappers know that when you stepping into that booth, that getting ready to drop your bars, that's like walking into the ring. Rappers be
Going to a zone.
they take their shirts off. They hit whatever they like. Come on, man. You know, like, let's go. Yo, they want to hear you, Rosenberg. They want to hear such a, you know. I'm like, fuck that nigga, man. You know, I'm like, I was on my boss. Them niggas, you know. But I wasn't even. They could have yelled anybody. But I was like, yeah, fuck them niggas, man. Fuck, you know, because you know they were like, they want to hear the youngsters. They want to hear you. So I bark my shit. Blah blah blah. The cats took that rant and put it at the beginning of their mixtape. That was not supposed to go out.
That was just you getting in your zone.
That was me getting in my zone. I could have said,
shit.
fuck little boo-boo, little Zeke. I don't know who the fuck. At that time, I didn't even really know who Soulja Boy was. It was just they said Soulja Boy and Hurricane Chris. And I just went in. But it was never meant to be an attack. It was some studio shit. That's why now, when I'm in the studio and people got their cameras out, I'm like, man, turn this shit up. Man, what are you doing with all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? I'm with the homies. We talking. You over there in the cut with a camera like, what the fuck you, nigga? This hood TV. Nigga, I might segue into a murder at any moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm about to say. Why are you going to turn all that stuff off? I even got a thing in my crib that jams cell phones.
In your house?
Got one of those.
When you come in my house, you can't, no tweeting, no live, Instagram, none of that shit. Not in my house, or you can stay your ass outside. Once you come up in there, I'm not trying to broadcast everything that's, people are putting too much. Everybody think they got their own TV channel. All right, back to Soulja Boy. So this shit comes out. So now I'm in Arizona, minding my business. It hits, plow. Ice-T dissed Soulja Boy. Blah, blah, blah. Now, this is social media early. It's about 10 years
Talk
ago.
to the mic for me.
About 10 years ago. So I'm like, so what did I diss Soulja? I hear this shit. I'm like, word, oh, Lord. So I immediately get on the phone with these cats that did the thing. I'm like, what part of the game is that? Oh, yo, OG, this is hyping the... No. This is unauthorized. We gonna come see y'all niggas in a minute, but this unauthorized. Now y'all got me in the funk. Remember, Mickey? It was like, yo, y'all got me in some funk. Now, the second part of it was my son. You gotta reply, Dad. I mean, what do you mean I gotta reply? Yo, when someone says he dissed you on, you gotta reply. I'm just so stupid, right? So I'm just like, all right, turn the camera on.
Got him again. Got you again.
So I just went in and I just said, look, you know, because his whole rant was you old, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, nigga, when you 19, a 23-year-old nigga's old. Like, I'm just saying this. Now, on a whole nother note, how I was feeling at the time, and it's not about dude. To me, hip-hop requires skill. When I got in the game, hip-hop required skill. To be a great rapper, to be a great DJ, to be a great graffiti artist, to be a great breakdancer. Hip-hop has a default word, whack, W-A-C-K. Anybody spells it with an H ain't hip-hop. Okay, so that word means you a whack, you ain't, whack doesn't mean you're through, it just means get better. That tag was whack, get better, right? So the reason I can't play in the NFL is because I'm not that good. I know that. We can't play in the NBA because we're not that good. That's why they're stars. You can't rap like Rakim because you're not that good. That's what makes us look at stars. But when you drop the level of the game so low that anybody can get in, it stops being a craft. It starts being a bum rusher, everybody. And I felt that the rap game was starting to get really, really simple. There was a point, right now, cats is rapping again. They got bars. I mean, whether you listen to Migos or whatever, I can hear the flows. I can hear they saying stuff. But there was a point in hip-hop where it got to be just repetitive hooks.
Ringtone rap. That was the ringtone.
Yeah, that was the ringtone era.
We call it ringtone
Coming
era.
out of it, yeah.
Now, a rapper like me, who's a fan of Das Effects and feels like we took hip-hop to a certain place, as a G, I want to see it. I want to see it get better. I want to see J. Cole. I want to see it evolve, not go backwards. So I was feeling some kind of way, but I wasn't really picking this particular person out over anybody else. It was the state of hip-hop at that moment.
And he just ended up catching it because they
He caught it.
Yeah.
Right.
He was standing too close to the fight and caught the left by mistake. Bam! Who who got his hit? Y'all got me mad. But that was not as malicious as it seemed, and they tried to play it. And I apologize to little homie. I mean, he's going through his own trials and tribulations. Of course, when he heard what would seem like a diss to me, he had to reply, and my dumb ass replied. But I never went into no Twitter, this, that, and none of that stuff. And then recently, let me give a shout out to Gucci Mane, because during that, Gucci Mane was like, yeah, you fuck Ice, right, or whatever. People like, Gucci Mane said something. I'm like, but I kind of like Gucci Mane. Like, why? Well, so everybody, but then I just recently heard an interview with Gucci, like, apologize. I said, I love Ice-T. I grew up on Ice-T and LL. So it was a lot of mess, you know? So shout out to Gucci, man. I've been a fan, you know, saying I know, yeah, it's a mess. And if you can't apologize and put it like this, if I got a problem with you, I got no problem letting you know. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem. But I don't want to create problems with people that I don't have problems
Right. That's just unnecessary. Now, at some point during the 20 years you've been in New York, I'm guessing you had to have a run-in with Donald Trump. Would I be accurate in saying that or no?
Met him twice. Never close.
Just a hello?
Was he drinking? He's a drinker.
He's the kind of cat that if he shakes your hand, he won't even make eye contact with you. Trump's an opportunist. So if he thinks that it'll help that photo op, he's just like one of these male groupies that are running around taking pictures of everybody in the club acting like they know people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You take a picture, you think he's a fan, he's like, I work with Ice. Like, son, I don't even know you, you know? And then they get work from that because they lie.
And he was working the real hip-hop credibility thing for a while.
Exactly. You think Trump knew who Wu-Tang Clan was? Somebody said, that's a good group that connects you to the black people.
Well, that's just what happened with Kanye, what happened with A$AP Rocky recently. All of that is maneuvering
It's
black marketing,
But
black
he
promotions.
did it for so long because it would be Russell, and he'd be in the clubs and take pictures with the right people. They'd be like, "Oh, Donald Trump parties with people."
Well, and then also remember he was getting his stories placed in the paper. He was calling the papers himself, getting his story.
I met him once at the Indianapolis 500. We were passing, and crowd, they go, "That's Donald Trump." I'm like, word, like that. I don't know if he stuck his hand. I don't know what happened, but we passed. And then we roasted him. And I was there. And then after it, there were people trying to take pictures and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I always understand that, a picture almost validates people. If you're taking a picture with somebody, they're gonna run with that. And I'm like, well, I'm not really bugging off dude like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just on his dick. Like, why?
And and all your time paying attention to politics and dealing with everything from street level up to corporate level. What is your interpretation of what's taking place right now in politics and with the president?
Trump's a gangster. He's a gang leader. His whole get down is gang. Like, if the first thing I say to you as we go into business is I need you guys' loyalty over everything. That means if I shoot somebody, y'all watch me. Y'all don't talk. Loyalty is the first thing gangsters ask for. Loyalty over everything. The second thing is he said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and his people gonna ride with him. Then he said, "Can I pardon myself?" I mean, like, yo, what are you doing, son? Like, you coming in on some gangster shit. He operates like that. He operates like I could fire you. More of his friends are in jail than my friends. Right? All them cats is going down one by one by one. Let me tell you. Let's get real gangster.
Okay.
When you a thug, I don't like using the word thugs because thugs are just, they're like pebbles in the road to real gangsters. Thugs go out and do the work of the gangsters. You understand? When you a real gangster and your attorney goes to jail, that's a bad look. That's a bad look. Okay, his attorney is under. What are you saying? So I just don't understand why they can't get.
It's politics and processes and bureaucracy.
I used to always say the laws don't apply to those who make them.
That's right.
I don't understand how this man hasn't had to show his tax returns. I mean, if I try to get a car, I got to show my tax returns. Like, how is he?
How did he make it through the whole election process pre-being president without it?
How did you do this?
This was the same man who demanded to see Obama's.
He did it because y'all know the answer. It happened as a response to a black man being the boss. The racist individuals in this circuit was like, yo, there is no way we're going to follow up this perfect, family-loving, no controversy black man with a normal candidate. So let's just get paid. And everybody who had an interest in getting paid or cared about racism figured out how to maneuver this dude, because if he takes the fall and actually gets impeached, they can always look back at it as that moment in American history where the system failed.
Niggas wild, man.
Reality show guy, this guy, he's got all of this shit. So if he actually goes down, nobody's going to blame politicians because he was never a politician.
Yeah. Right.
The only thing I could say about Trump is he's wild. Like, he's wild. Like, he's not even, like, he says wild things. Like, every day he's on the toilet, like, just tweeting. Like, the man is wild. My boy Kenny Ivey said that, we was talking about it. He said, well, when you waist up in liquid shit, nobody can see the dirt on you no more, man. So he's so dirty. You can't even see it no more.
What do we even talk about? There's so much dirt to talk about.
He changes the narrative. Once he does this, he does that, he does this. The guy got, they say he's a pedophile, he's a rapist. He was partners with, hanging out with Epstein. I mean, this cat is bad, man. But it's crazy, though, right? So guess what? We got to live through this. We got to see this. I've lived through many presidents. But, do you ever hear Chris Rock's take on it?
No.
Chris Rock says that it's the pendulum. So you had Bush. And then it swung over to Clinton, who was black in the White House smoking weed, getting head. Okay, so, right? Then it swung back to son of a Bush, right? Okay, so now he's over here. Then it swung to Obama, right? So it's going from one extreme to the other. Like you were saying, it goes from one extreme. Yeah. Now it's swung to Trump. So
even further, it swung like...
So he said the only place that's left to swing is to Jesus.
I know, right?
To counter Trump. So, I mean, you know, I tell people, I say, concentrate more on your local politics, your governor, your mayor. I don't care what president has been in. My taxes have always gone up. Things haven't got better. Inflation continues to grow. The president is so far over our heads. It's kind of like, just don't start a war, homie. Don't send nobody to die. Just let's stick with that. I thought we was getting ready to go to war a couple of times, but dude is dirty. Dude. Have you ever read The Art of the Deal?
His book?
I read The Art of the Deal back when I looked at him as a real hustler, but it basically just says do whatever it takes. That's all it really says. If I'm gonna take over your business and you're gonna sue me, make sure my profit will outweigh the litigation. It's like
Straight gangster shit.
It's
Gangsterism. Yo, no, literally, one of his number one things. If you look at his entire life, a straight up philosophy he basically has is don't pay people for shit. You talk about gangster shit. Yo, we work for me, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. I'm gonna pay you this, blah, blah, blah. Job's done. No money.
No money.
Oh, you want to sue me? Good luck suing me, man.
Yeah.
Now, he's a cat. He's a character. He's one of the best that ever did it as far as that goes. I mean, he's like an arch criminal. Like you, we might need Batman.
Yo, looking back
For real.
Yo, looking back on your hustling days and everything you come from, and every politician that you've seen come down the whole stroll and buy dope and be in the clubs and doing shit before social media.
Yes.
Is there a piece of you that's like, this is what America gets for all that bullshit? For all the lies. Is there any piece of you that feels like...
I just think, no, not at all, Ebro. I just think what's going on now is transparency of the world. Like you're really getting to see what America is. You know, because when we had Obama in, people are like, racism is over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And politicians are great. So everybody's showing themselves because you can't lie no more. Everybody's got videos of everybody, so you can't pretend. So it's kind of like, it's like not what they get, but this is what we've been saying. It's what we've been saying. You know, it's when Obama was in, the racists hid and they festered. Now, I guess, watch me say something controversial. This is why I think President Trump won, is because of Black Lives Matter. Now, want me to tell you why? Because Black Lives Matter came out and scared the shit out of white people. And they demonize it and turn it into, oh, these are the new Black Panthers. They scared all those folks to the voting booth, and the black people didn't vote because we didn't like Hillary either. So we were kind of like played ourselves, you know, like, okay, you're gonna go out here and push this, and you put people in the voting booth that wouldn't normally go, but Black Lives Matter is coming to get us. You know, that's how they pushed it. Black Lives Matter isn't a terrorist. It's not even on that, but that's how they played it. They spun the narrative. So we got to be careful of that. Now, I'm like, everything has been said about Trump that can be said, but I think he'll probably win again because there's too many damn candidates. Now my man said he's going to be in the mayor.
Bloomberg.
I fucks with Bloomberg. Bloomberg, I talked to him. I chopped it up with him. I mean, the man is rich. I mean, but he's rich in a way that it's like, yo, you ain't got to check my tax returns. You know what I'm saying? I got a better vibe of him. I met Bloomberg with Fab Five Freddy. Fab Five Freddy is like he needs a post someplace that somebody.
Fab Five Freddy knows a lot.
Yeah, he's a connector.
My
of
thing
many
with
things.
Bloomberg is why. I mean, look, the money thing.
I don't know him like that.
No, my thing with him was the stop and frisk shit was out of control
Okay.
under him.
But it got up to, at one point, over 600,000 stops.
Okay, fuck Bloomberg. But listen, I don't know him like that. I just had a conversation with the player, and he gave me a little the time of
Now,
day.
as far as maybe on his business acumen, ability to make money, get the economy to a greater place, maybe there's some conversation there. But his ability to pay attention to what's going on with human beings
He'd have to
and
really...
that relationship between police and the
It
community.
will be very hard for him to get out from behind it, considering the way they did Hillary for just the predator
Well, and
thing.
watch this, Ice. The whole super predator shit. You was in the street when that shit happened and
Yeah.
3 strikes came.
Yeah.
What was really happening? What black politicians supported that shit at the time?
I don't know who did.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. The church leaders, the politicians was
got
all
homies.
supporting 3 strikes.
I got homies stuck on the 3 strikes. You know what I'm saying?
Still.
That's a life sentence, man. And it don't even have to be violent felonies. You could go in and have 2 felonies and have a fight with your girl, and that could strike you out. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what? Like I said, man, like I said, I know him. Then you just shot. You said, nah, Ice, he ain't the one. Okay, cool. I'm
So
gonna
who
listen.
is it? Who is there? Someone you do like? Is there anyone else you out there you like?
No, that's the problem. That's the problem. I met Joe Biden. See, what I'm saying is a lot of these politicians won't give you the time of the day. Some of them will sit up and talk to you like a human being. That's got to be one point. Right. I don't think I could ever talk to Trump. I don't think he would even have a conversation with somebody unless it was a photo op or I'm beneath him. See, I think Trump, I said it before in one thing. I said, I don't think Trump is a white supremacist. Trump is a supremacist. He's supreme to all. He's supreme to white people, black people. He's supreme. He feels everything he does. And if you're not on his level, and his level is even above his money. You see what I'm saying? He's not even really a big balling billionaire when it comes to billionaires. Bezos and them cats can, they can
he's not like them.
Step over and shit on him with their money. They could bury that fool in their money.
He's an elitist in his mind.
In his mind.
And that's what's sad. I mean, you think it's bad the way he shits on black people, but at least black people hate Trump. Those poor white trash.
They have no idea.
They love him. And he fucking despises them.
He wouldn't be in a room with them.
He would never be
way.
near them. He must be sanitizing his hands at every rally.
Real talk. He ain't kicking it. The man's house was gold. That fool ain't hanging out no
he's
trailer
New York
park
billionaire elite garbage, and he really plays a man of the people to them. It's sad. It's really sad that they believe.
But you know what it is? A lot of people, like my wife's Coco's father is from Arizona, right? He looks like a Hell's Angel, right? If you met him, you probably say, okay, this dude. He reminds me you remember the big pops that was on Orange County Choppers?
Yeah.
That's how Coco's dad looks, right? When I met him, I'm like, oh, this is a face-off. But then he liked me. He's like, yeah, all her other boyfriends was poop butts. You know what I'm saying? I know. He liked my gangster. We went and shot guns. Me and him's cool. But he likes Trump. Guess why? Hillary gonna take our guns. See, they catch on to just one thing. And that is the reason they catch on to. They don't know. I had to sit him up. I had to debrief Pops. I had him in the house watching videos like, yo, Pops, look. He's like, well, the Muslims. I'm like, Muslim ain't even a race. It's a religion. They don't know. So they catch these little sound bites. Yeah. And that's what they rock with. So they fall prey to the propaganda. They fall prey
and the fear tactics, yeah.
to the Russians bots that are putting on. Yeah. They read that and they believe it. They're not
sophisticated enough.
That's the word. I'm not saying they're not smart. They're just not sophisticated enough to see through the bullshit. So they're just voting. They're just going. And he's pushing those states like that. Yo, all I'm saying is we got to figure out who's gonna go against this dude, or because once, every time Bloomberg comes in, once again he dilutes the pot. He dilutes it. Bernie, they all dilute it. So,
well, we got to get through the primaries first. We'll see who shakes out at the end of the primary.
But they cross everybody. So during the primary, I'm gonna talk about Rosenberg, and I'm gonna destroy him, so it makes everyone weaker.
By the time it's done, exactly.
They need a silent primary, like in the cut. Like, all right, who's gonna be the best? Let's go. All right, and then we all rock.
Or make
out.
an agreement to just talk about ideas. We're not going to tear each other down. We're just going to talk ideas.
Well, we'll see, because the Republicans went ham on each other. They was talking about each other's wives and all type of shit.
It's dirty now.
Your man Trump talked about mad people's wives.
Look,
Call people's wives ugly, fam.
How can he do that?
I mean,
just like that.
The coldest one in the game is Melania, his wife.
Melania.
She's the coldest one because she's just laying in the cut for dude to die. She's just laying in the cut. She's like, okay, y'all gave me one speech, and that was Obama's wife, Michelle Obama's. I'm done. I won't talk in public no more. And Trump probably lied to her when he met her, said, yo, baby, I'm 90. Come on, let's get it going.
Turned out she was only 50. He was only 55.
Yeah, he probably, he lied up. I'm only going to be around. You only got it. But, we got to give her some kind of award just for having him, lean over her.
I don't think they sleep in the same bed.
Look at Laura said, oh, she gets some kind of gangster stripe for that.
It's horrible.
That must be the world whole championship.
This is the legend Ice-T right here, man. Give it up for him one time. Thank you for your time today, man. Yo, listen, man. Thank you so much, man.
I love you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's good. I'm actually up every morning going to work early. When you called and said, let's do the show, I'm like, man, I'm at work, man. I try to stay out the way, but I always, come mess with y'all on or off the radio. Rosenberg's always been 100 with me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what it is, man. That's
Appreciate
what it
you.
is.
This is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Ice.
and can I plug something?
Of course.
Okay, so I'm on Twitter at Final Level.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram at Ice-T or Ice MFT. And we do have a thing. You know, I did the Art of Rap, and now I got a new thing called the Art of Comedy. And we're going out comedy shows. When's this first show? February 19th at the Sony Theater. You know, I met you through the comedy circuit back in the day. So, you know, just something I got other than my other hustles. So
Giving young comedians a platform.
I love comedy, man. We gotta laugh, man. You know what I'm saying? Because right now we really gotta
Yeah,
laugh.
it's important.
Because it's crazy, man, where we're at. But nothing but love to everybody supported me. I've been in this game a long time. I'm about to turn 62 years old.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
You made it, bro.
yeah, I made it. I ain't going nowhere. I figured I'm gonna live to 100, Ebro, and then all these 30-year-old cats will be 70, and I'm gonna come bust their ass.